Ever felt like you were in the middle of a great conversation, only to look down and see nothing? No response, no explanation, just radio silence? Yeah, it's rough. Today, we're diving into the painful mystery of ghosting, that sudden, unexpected disappearance act that leaves you questioning everything. Why did she just vanish? What did you do wrong? And most importantly, how do you bounce back from it? In the next few minutes, we'll explore why people ghost, how to handle it with class, and why moving on can sometimes be the best response. Spoiler alert, it's not always about you. Why ghosting happens. Alright, let's break down some common reasons behind ghosting. Spoiler, it's not all about you. First off, let's talk about life's unexpected curveballs. Sometimes people are dealing with things behind the scenes. Family issues, job stress, mental health struggles. Maybe she's just in a tough spot right now and doesn't know how to communicate that. It doesn't excuse the ghosting, but it does put things in perspective. So, rule number 1, remember that not everything is about you. Here's another big one: conflict avoidance. Some people, maybe more than you think, really hate uncomfortable conversations. They'd rather disappear than have the dreaded, "I'm just not feeling it" talk. It's not the most mature way to handle things, but it's common. Ghosting is sometimes just a quick escape route from confrontation. Now, this one might sound a bit manipulative, but hear me out. Sometimes people ghost as a sort of test. They want to see if you'll chase after them, to see if they're worth the extra effort. I know, it sounds like a mind game, but it's a reality in the dating world. If you find yourself constantly chasing, it might be time to pause and ask, is this a game I want to play? Lastly, there's the classic reason. She may have simply lost interest or found someone else. Dating is often about testing connections, and sometimes people realize that it's just not there. Ghosting is a really clumsy way to communicate that, but it's often what people choose when they don't want to hurt feelings or when they don't know how to handle things maturely. So, now that we've covered some possible reasons, let's talk about what you can do about it. How to handle it. Alright, so she's ghosted and you're left in the lurch. What now? Here are a few solid ways to handle it with grace and maybe even come out stronger. First things first, stay calm. Ghosting has this sneaky way of making us doubt ourselves. But jumping to conclusions or flooding her inbox with, "Did I do something wrong?" messages usually won't help. Take a deep breath and remember that ghosting happens to almost everyone. It's not necessarily a reflection of you. Next, do a quick self-check. This isn't about blaming yourself, but just thinking back on the connection. Were there red flags or patterns you might have missed? If you notice something, note it for next time. But if nothing jumps out, don't get too stuck on it. Ghosting often says more about them than it does about you. Now, let's talk about messaging. Resist the urge to send 10 follow-up texts or call multiple times. Even though it's tempting to get closure, sometimes space is the best strategy. Overreacting can push them further away or make you feel worse. Instead, keep your dignity intact. If they come back, you'll be in a stronger place to decide if you want to engage. If it's been a while with no word, consider accepting the silence and moving forward. Sometimes, the healthiest thing you can do is let go and focus on yourself. Remember, your time and energy are valuable, and chasing after someone who ghosted isn't the best use of either. Steps to move forward. Alright, so she's gone ghost. But here's the thing, your story doesn't end here. It's time to flip the script and focus on you. First step, invest in yourself. Think about something you've been wanting to try, or a skill you've been meaning to sharpen. Anything that gives you a sense of growth. Not only does this keep you busy, but it also reminds you of your own worth. You don't need someone else to validate that. Ghosting can be a confidence hit, so make sure to reconnect with friends and family who remind you of who you really are. Surrounding yourself with people who genuinely care about you can help put things in perspective. Plus, spending time with people who value you makes it easier to see who doesn't. And here's a big one. Keep your options open. If dating again feels right, take the chance to meet new people. Sometimes ghosting is just life's way of clearing the path for someone who will actually show up for you. Don't get hung up on one person who didn't have the courtesy to be real with you. Finally, reflect on this experience, but don't dwell on it. Ask yourself if there were any signs you might have missed or lessons you could take into your next relationship. Use this as a chance to set standards for how you want to be treated. Every experience, even the disappointing ones, can teach you something valuable. So here's the bottom line. Ghosting is painful, but it's not the end of the world. And it's definitely not the end of your world. We covered some possible reasons why she ghosted, how to keep your cool, and steps to move forward. Remember, ghosting says more about them than it does about you. Instead of overthinking or chasing answers, shift your focus back to yourself. You'll come out stronger with a clearer sense of what you want and who actually deserves your time. If you've ever been ghosted, drop a comment below and let us know how you handled it. Or hey, maybe even a ghosting story of your own? Let's keep it real in the comments. Hit that subscribe button if you want more advice on relationships, life lessons, and how to handle whatever life throws at you. And don't forget to tap the notification bell so you never miss a new upload. Remember, being ghosted doesn't make you any less valuable. Keep your head up and focus on people who are excited to be in your life.